Alright, hello there guys, I'm back again. I'm literally recording the second part of this Photoshop tutorial, literally one after the other. So now, with these in mind, we know how to use the very basic tools, right? Brushes B, oh, I didn't explicitly say that, but that's the idea. We have paint bucket tool, which is G. We got our eraser, which is E. Very straightforward, B, E, G. So I'm just gonna continue writing these down. I assume people will most likely watch these one after the other anyways, so that's fine, whatever. Did not forget just now because I don't remember where I placed my video notes for this, but whatever. We got brush tool, which is B, we got E tool, which is eraser, and then we got G tool, which is fill slash paint bucket. I'm sure people just think of it as the paint bucket tool. Who the hell? Honestly, who thinks of the paint bucket tool as goddamn fill, bro? All right, so for my next tutorial, this is on the main thing that people would most likely download Photoshop for and keep using Photoshop for. It's to make selections out of other images. So on a lot of tutorials, they'll teach you that on your eraser tool, there's this thing called background eraser tool, and with this, right, people are told that um, you just wrap your way around an image, and because Photoshop is so magical, it just like clears away all the color. And for the most part, this is fine, I guess, but we don't want to be doing all of that stuff, and it takes forever, right? Like the transparent eraser tool, like there's nothing wrong with it, but it's really slow. And so this is where I want to focus on color range. Exactly for this specific blood stain, for example, um uh we're only going to be removing the white anyway. So we select the white, and then you know what I just did is to go to select, and we do color range, and we select the color that we want to remove. Okay, and so see here, I'm in Photoshop. If something is colored white by the application, that means it's going to be invisible. If it's black, then that means it's visible. That's how it works in the eyes of the police. I mean Photoshop. Yeah, yeah. We're on the same page. So you tinker around with the fuzziness. You bring it super down. You can make more of the details, but there might be some more of like these weird white edges that you'll see. So I just like turning up the fuzziness a lot because I don't care. It's just a random blood stain, and so it's gonna select all the white, and we're just gonna Control X, and we have this clear blood stain. And so just as a test, we're gonna just select like a random color and see how well it contrasts. And as we can see, it got rid of a pretty decent amount of the white color. Like you won't really know it. You can turn up the fuzziness even more, but you might lose a lot of these tiny splatters. And um uh I guess I might as well show you guys now how to make like really clean selections, right? Since I'm already going on with this tutorial anyways. So already now we know that if we go to the options, right? Oh God. We go to the upper options menu here, and we do select, and we click color range. We can remove one specified color from the image, and where we would be able to get a clean, transparent image. However, even though the image may be, all transparent and great, there might be some tiny bit of fuzziness, or, you know, for the most part, there might be, fuck, where did I, cancel, fuck, where did I just throw that thing? Whatever. Um, it's for my next demonstration, whatever, we'll keep going. So, now we have this blood stain, and we're just gonna press W. This is our automatic selection tool, alright? Alright, I have the quick selection option selected, and I'm just gonna make the size like 200. There's only one thing on this layer anyways. Oh yeah, these guys are the layers. You can put them up and down, whatever. These are pretty self-explanatory. You press here to open the layer. You press Shift and then mouse wheel to select several layers at once. So this basically applies to a lot of editing um software, so just keep in mind Shift and then select something, and you can basically select several things at once. All right, so back to our tutorial. I have my W key, all right, and I'm gonna just select this all the stuff in the blood stain, all right. It's all selected, and we're gonna do something known as masking here, right here. Select and mask, and then so right now only the stuff that we selected in our blood trail, blood splatter is gonna be visible, and we're gonna be able to just zoom in on the edges, and we're gonna be able to decide exactly to what degree we can essentially uh, clean up the image. So there's some smoothing you can do, but it doesn't seem like it'll work well for this image, so you don't need to fuck with that. You can feather a little and then turn up the contrast, so that's an option for you to do. For the most part, you don't necessarily need to do a lot of smoothing. You just need to basically turn or like mess around with the feather and contrast values to get like the cleanest edges. Because smoothing, as you can see, it's removing certain details right there. I'm sure you guys can see. And then, feather, since this is already a small image, let's make the pixels even smaller. And then maybe we don't even need to feather. We can just basically turn up the contrast. And then we should be able to, I mean, for the most part, you guys can also shift edges. This means that the edges are going to be moving a little inwards or outwards, whatever. So we just mess around with these tools until we get like this sharp, nice look. And it's gonna essentially, um, did it, did I not apply the layer mask? God damn it, whatever. There, now we applied the layer mask properties, select and mask, same shit, right? Shift, edge, contrast. Oh wait, no, it already applied, I think. Whatever. And it applies the layer mask plus apply layer mask, and the edges should be a teensy bit better looking. Maybe not. This image was already clear enough, and there isn't really a lot we can do to really do much for it. But the idea is we got this image nice and cleaned up, and we paste it here. It goes anywhere, whatever. It looks fine. It doesn't have the weird white background. Now, this is the part where you guys would probably be asking the question, okay, what about for an image where, let's say, like, there's white on this girl's shirt. So do we press the background eraser tool to carefully cut around it, but it's also cutting into everything else. The image is fuzzy. Then we just do the quick selection tool, all right? And this is how we are going to be selecting a lot of images for the most part. Now, this isn't exactly like some sort of precise rocket science, right? Because it's really hard to get that bit of hair in, like, and like you press a little too big and it just selects everything, yada yada. But for the most part, it works fine enough, and we have just this girl floating in empty space. And if we want the image to look sharper, then we just repeat the same process again. We already have this selected. If we press the little Japanese flag here for layer mask, select and mask. Maybe we don't. Maybe yeah, we smooth for this image, right? Because it's fuzzy, so we're gonna add a little smoothing. All right, maybe not so much that like the little shirt gets all fucky looking, but that amount is fine. We turn up the contrast. Do we need to feather? Yeah, we'll feather a little, make it a little more smoother. And okay, and because of that, the girl looks teensy bit better. And then within Photoshop, it's all about just trying to be creative. So, for example, we try to erase away a little part of this part of her hair or something to make it not look so awkward, and try to make it blend a little more, whatever. There's all these little adjustments we can do. But the idea is, there we go. Now we have a slightly cleaner looking girl, or at least relatively speaking. They still look kind of fucky, but if you look carefully, this one would be slightly less fucky than the other one. So yeah, that's basically it for my tutorial. Let's just add those notes onto the cheat sheet. So it's layer 3, 2, yeah, okay. So what have we learned today? We learned that W is for quick selection, right? And we also learned that, you know, weird Japanese flag symbol is for masking. And now I'm not really explaining the nitty-gritty deets of anything because I'm just trying to make this tutorial super brief so that you can just watch this and follow along and then edit whatever image you want in any way you want. So for the most part, these are going to be the super basic tools that you'll be working with in Photoshop. And once you get the hang of these, I'm sure you guys can branch out, expand, and do whatever you want. Because personally, I wish I learned how to mask stuff a lot sooner. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video.